6-7, 741.
6-7-41.
6-7.
What is up, beautiful people? It is Friday, your favorite day. Maybe it's Saturday whenever you're watching. I don't care how you're watching. I'm just glad that you are after last week's episode, or after last week's game, rather. Episode was fantastic.
Yes.
Game, on the other hand, we'll get to that in a second. Not great, spoiler. Thank you all for watching. We're back. It's week number 4 of the season 2. This is easy to say for me, right?
Season 2, episode 4.
Season 2, episode 4, game 3. You all got that down, Pat, I'm sure. We're back to you, Charlotte, for the week. Just like I kind of started off there, this game was quite clunky, right? So we'll get right into the recap. It was LA Galaxy 3, your Charlotte Crown zilch. 3-0 loss to the Galaxy. Only team that finished, 14th place out of 15 teams last season in the Western Conference. What do you say, right? I guess I'll say it for you right now. It sucked, right? It was terrible. I don't know that we had to stay up all night. I took a nap. I drank some coffee. I was so excited for the game. And within 15 minutes, it was already over. And then I just had to sit there for the last agonizing hour and a half and watch us finish the game. Not a lot of good, right?
No.
Not a lot of good in this game. They scored their 3 goals within 5 minutes, so I guess you could argue that the other 85 minutes, at least it was 0-0, right? But that might be the only silver lining. Just not a lot of heart, not a lot of competency, not a lot of. Yeah, I think that's all it comes down to. I guess, if anything, also, you were maybe proven right. We had, and it wasn't his fault, I want to go ahead and preface it, but Gianni on the field in place of Westwood. We did kind of later learn that was more or less an illness, it sounded like, for Westwood. But that was obviously the starting lineup that I had predicted at the beginning of the season. And boy, when we saw it on the field, it didn't work. Obviously,
we saw how well that worked out.
Exactly. So I had to tuck my tail between my legs. And, like I said, it was just
15 minutes in, that was a hot no.
Not great. I will say, for all the players on the pitch, Gianni was definitely not the worst one. That doesn't matter really at the end of the day because none of them were great. They obviously lacked leadership out there, which I'm sure Westy would have brought early. We saw that a little bit more in the second half when he did come in and play, him and Bronico both. I did think Bronico was a bright spot for what it's worth. Overall the game, they scored their 3 goals within 5 minutes. Pretty much exclusively coming down the right side. They would get it, to the right wing, and right wing would get it in, and they'd score a goal. I mean, it was as simple as that, right? And then the third goal that we gave up, what can you say about, Andrew Privet on that one? I mean, he just quite literally passed it to their center forward who just dribbled and scored. So
school dream.
Yeah, school dream a little bit. I mean, I don't know what else he was going to do there. He was just one-on-one, and we know we love you, Reem, but one-on-one at this point for Reem is not a recipe for success. We have learned that. De La Torre, we signed you in the offseason, and what we saw on the field in this game from you was next to nothing.
I'm going to call him De La Torre no more, please.
Hey, De La Torre no more. That kind of has a little bit of a ring to it. I hope it doesn't stick because, gosh, we have him for 3 years at this point. We kind of need him to do something, right? Really everybody, right? It's not just him. Toklamati up top, Zaha on the wing, Vargas on the wing. They didn't bring much. They didn't have much support to get them the ball, right? It was just a mess, right? I don't know how else to describe it. It was I was trying to, when we were putting the show together, I was deciding, is this the worst performance of Charlotte FC's entire history? And I kind of think yes.
For sure.
The only other game I had to almost compare it to was in year 2 when we lost in the playoffs 5-2 to New York Red Bull that season. But at least we even put up 2 goals in that game. I mean, This was just a nothing burger from the boys in black and blue. It stunk to watch. I stayed up till way past my bedtime to watch it, yet no reward. I will say, I know that you guys are watching. I appreciate it because I got a lot of text after that third goal went in from, I assume, all of our viewers. So thank you for watching. Thank you for texting. Continue to do that. hopefully the next text will be a little bit more friendly and happy, and everybody's on the same page and we're scoring goals. But for this game, we just can't say that, right? I mean, it was an absolute terrible game. Nothing good happened. Nothing good came of it, and here we are. So that's all I got to say. I'll kind of pass it to you. Do you have any other thoughts or things that you would want to go assess?
I would say yes. This definitely was not a great showing for Charlotte. I don't think there was much that we could say. This is good. We can grow from this or improve on use this as momentum. I was kind of disappointed because if you look at all the players we have returning, yes, I know we were replacing Melanda, but it's not like we put somebody new in there. Prid's been on the team for 3 years, played with those guys. Delatorre, yes, he's new in the middle, but for the most part, we've had seasons before where we've had to bring in many more players into our starting 11, and things seem to go better than they have. And I just think whatever Dino is putting out on the pitch right now, it's not working. I kind of just say throw it all in the trash and see who. I mean, they had no drive. There was everyone was just at this sauntering, oh look, they have the ball, they're attacking our goal. Let's just
our best move was putting our hand up to hope they were offside. That's what every time when they scored, hey, they're offside. No, they're not. They scored again. That's
and there were times. I mean, we had the people in the box, and they that entire game would find the space. We got caught ball watching, which seems to be something Charlotte does well. We like to ball watch. I just think our communication was lacking in the back line. We had no intensity. We had no grit.
Which is sad.
Yeah, they've talked a big game. Lots of expectations they put out there for themselves. And I say in the first 2 games, you have a lot of backing up your talk to do. Because you need to figure something out. Because the words you're saying and the play you're putting on the pitch,
they aren't matching.
That math ain't mathin'.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't want to see the same starting 11. Lord help us. I don't know why we would have to, because I think Westy will be better. I mean, feeling better. So, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Lost for words, right?
About it, so
there isn't anything, and I don't know that we definitely, I can't imagine see the same. At the same time, it's one of those things where it is only 2 games, but my gosh, I mean, these 2 games. I mean, even the first game we were talking about in that last episode about hey, we have to be much better. We have to be much better if we want to really be the team, but they weren't much better. If anything, they took 3 steps backwards in this game.
And our touch was still terrible.
That was my key.
That's so bad.
That's exactly what I was going to touch on. Because my keys to the game last week. If you guys all remember that video, of course you do. We talked about key. Being able to connect passes from the back to the front. Right. That is something that was our calling card, especially last year with Melanda. In the lineup, he was so good at just getting it forward, letting our playmakers, kind of get in space. And man, when we're getting it forward right now, it is just the ball's not sticking to the foot. I don't know if that's the pass. I don't know if that's the reception. I mean, it's hard to kind of read into that, but it just seems like everything is just so off.
Yeah.
And we can't get any sort of momentum going forward. I mean, I read a stat yesterday. Toklamani's had the ball twice inside the 18 in 2 games,
right,
as the striker.
Well, and to kind of go off of that, I saw a stat that said we've had as many shots on goal. I don't really know why they keep track of shots that aren't on goal, but they do. So don't yes, we could have had shots, but if they never had a chance in going in, we don't call it a shot on goal. In 2 games, Charlotte has the same amount of shots on goal as goals we've conceded.
Yeah, hard to win that way.
We've had 4 shots on goal. And we've conceded 4 goals.
Unless you're Cristiano Ronaldo,
we're not winning games with only 4 shots on goal. I mean, you're not going to win a game with 4 shots on goal in a game. Yeah. Essentially 2 games worth. So I mean, there's a lot. I wish I could be a fly on the wall. I saw they have an open practice next Monday. I don't think they should probably have any open practices
that's juicy.
On Monday. Yeah, because I don't know if I would want to be there to see. And I hope Dino's lighting their asses up because something has to be done. There was no drive. No, it was like no one wanted to do anything. It was like they scored the first goal, scored the second one, and then we're like, okay, we're done.
And literally gave them the third, right? So, like I said, I mean, only so much we can say about it at the end of the day. It was ugly. Terrible. It was brutal. It was terrible. Silver lining is, hey, we got 1 point in our first two games playing at best D- football, and now we get to come home. I said at best, and so I'm thinking, hey, we got those two bad ones out of the way. We're coming home. More on that, kind of later in the episode, but maybe coming home, that's all we need, just that motivation to kind of get home and bring the team back together, because we know these players are capable. We've seen them do what they've done in the past, right? Like you said, we have a largely returning team, obviously a couple of new additions, but by and large, pretty much the same returning team. And this is nowhere close to the standard that we even saw last year, when, if anything, we were expecting them to take a step up and really challenge for the cup this season.
Right. I mean, that's what's disheartening. You see, I mean, Biel went out with his injury, never really came back at the end of the season. But when he went out, we were riding such a high. So now you're thinking, yay, Pep's back. He's had a whole off season and to recoup. He's had the preseason to get back into form where we're all together. And what they put on the pitch is just not what we were seeing last year, which is really sad.
It is. But, hey, they come home this week. Fresh start. If they win this game, we'll pretty much forgive them for everything and hope everything's right.
31-1.
There we go. 31-1 is the goal, right? No, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have for recap. Again, not much good come out of the LA Galaxy game, but if anything,
the good is we're coming home.
The good is we're coming home.
Mama, I'm coming home.
All right, and then kind of moving in. I didn't get to put the crown on. As you see, we have our beautiful trinkets in front of us. But next segment here, news for the week as normal, kind of second segment here. So to kick it off, news that we really need right now after we talk about the back line and how porous they've looked so far through the first couple of weeks. I don't know if this is good or bad news, but it sounds like Henry Kessler is kind of on track to be available in late March, is what we're being told.
So that's 3 or 4 weeks.
Right, yeah, hopefully 2 or 3. Right, I kind of want to see him on the pitch sooner rather than later. And actually, real quick, I should go back and shout out. We said nothing good happened on the pitch on last game, but hey, Morrison Agumon did come into the game and was at least a little bit forceful out there. Shout him out. Crown Legacy, love that. Came up from them, and like I said, came up and, in my opinion, really showed out against Privet, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, he was much better, right? So I kind of anticipate him to be, honestly, the starter moving forward until Kessler maybe gets his chance in late March.
Kessler was training. They showed him at training off to the side, not with the team, but still at least doing some drills.
Yeah, getting to fitness and all those things. Yeah, so good to see. Can't wait to see you out there on the pitch as well, Henry. So again, late March is when we kind of target Kessler to be back. In other news,
see some teams that can score some goals.
Yeah, you go ahead and take this one, because you're our Crown. She is our resident Crown Legacy aficionado.
That's true.
And so I'll give you this.
You have no excuses not to go support the Crown Legacy this season, because, guys, you can go and you can see them for $0. That's right. It is free.
The same as this ball.
Concessions are pretty reasonable as well. So $0. It's free. Tickets are free all year.
When are they? Typically Friday nights, correct?
They're usually Friday nights, some scattered Wednesdays, and they usually play Sundays.
Okay.
They don't normally have a lot of Saturday games. So this Friday at the Sportsplex in Matthews, 7 o'clock is their kick time, though. And you will see a person that I think 100% needs to be on the first team. I'm not really sure why he's not, but you can go see Nympha Berkimas.
Fun name.
Beautiful. I just call him Nympha. I can't say it first. But Legacy won 4-1. Nympha scored a goal. And he is also a person. He does a great flip too as a goal.
He does. Yeah, I saw the flip. Yeah, it was a beautiful game. And those uniforms, honestly, kind of fire.
Come check them out. They're fun. They have bring the kids. They have a lawn legacy where after the game, all the players come down and you can get. They'll talk to you, sign anything for you. It's just a really great family event. And it's free. Friday night free. At the Legacy match. So get there.
There's nothing more.
Start your Charlotte FC weekend off right with Friday night at the Sportsplex.
That is a promo and a half right there. Absolutely. No. Crown Legacy, 4-1.
How about go ahead. 4-1.
That's really all. I was just going to kind of reiterate, right, with the Nympha goal. Beautiful goal by him. And I really can't understand how he's not helping the actual Crown right now. But again, that's maybe a different story for a different day.
How about some shocking news?
Well, real shocking news this week.
Breaking news.
So maybe you already picked up on this, but there were no Charlotte FC players on the team of the match day this week, so no news to report there. Shocker, I know. Uh, Actually, kind of surprised Christian Kalina wasn't back on it, just because he still made
He
10 or
saved
4.
10 saves.
Yeah, he had like 10
Yeah.
saves, and we still gave up 3 goals. So he was maybe the only man that could have been. But yeah, no players on the team of the match.
Tell us what Zoran has to say about the team.
That's really what I wanted to use a lot of this, not to say a lot, but a good amount of this segment for. So to me, he had some pretty telling. Like, I don't know if you listened to that particular interview, but he was at the practice on, I guess it would have been either Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Monday's practice. And of course, there's contract negotiations with Wilfred Zaha. There's, talks about Nympha, who we just talked about being up there, right? And so he was asked a lot of pointed questions, and he gave some pretty pointed responses, in my opinion, right? So as it pertains to Zaha, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a prediction and maybe lay it on a little bit easy. I don't know that he's going to be back after June. I don't know that Wilfred Zaha is going to be back here after June. Just going to say that right now, based on the comments that we had. So obviously they interview, they're asking him. They asked him way back before the preseason, hey, when are we going to get the Zaha deal done? Well, we're going to talk about it in preseason.
Right.
No worries. Preseason comes around. Hey, have you had the conversation with Zaha? Not yet. We'll do it toward the end of the preseason. We want him to get back up and running with the boys. No problem. Okay. Have another conversation. Hey, preseason's over. We had 2 games. Where's the contract talks with Zaha? Still haven't had him. I want him to score goals. We need other players in. Is kind of the way that I took that conversation. I don't know if you listened to it as well, but it was.
But now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So and I will give Zoran not a pass. I don't know what the word to use is, but he also kind of mentioned the absence of Malanda and how much that has affected. And he is right. I don't love complaining GMs, because at the end of the day, it's your job to put the product on the field, right? And so everybody's kind of under the same pretense in the MLS. We have the same rules as every other team. So it's not exactly, I think, a fair argument that he's making, but it is to a certain degree. You cannot replace an $8 million player like for like in the MLS. Why? Because
they don't exist.
Well, it's not even that they don't exist. It's that if they do exist, they've got to be a DP. Even if they're $2 million players, they have to be a DP. And guess what? We don't have spots for right now.
DPs.
Exactly. So as I read the tea leaves on what he said, and I hope it's not true. Obviously, you guys know I'm the biggest Zaha fan. Maybe on this podcast, on any of the ones that do Charlotte FC. I love the guy. But I'm starting to have to prepare myself for life after Zaha. L-A-Z there, Laz, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to think it may come sooner than we actually hope or think, aka June, especially if we're not winning games by June, right? I mean, I think that's a almost foregone conclusion at that point, that we're losing Zaha and we're getting rid of Abada at that point, opening up both of those spots for newer, younger players potentially, right? So it seems to me, based on the conversation or based on the comments that I saw, he is really planning for the summer transfer window to be big for us. And I think a big part of that, maybe bye-bye Zaha. I hope it's not true, but that's the way I read it. So
that would be very sad, and I hope that's not the case, because I can't imagine this team after Saturday without Zaha.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's been one of the few somewhat bright spots. He didn't have anything to do in the game on Saturday, but again, what Ford did.
But if nothing else, he just draws players to him, which opens up space for others.
We know what he does, right? On the field, he is the most important player for us, I feel like. Just because of exactly that, right? We know if anything else, tight spaces, he's going to get fouled. He's going to get through it. He's going to give us good set piece opportunities. And he's probably the best passer on the team as well, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
maybe
it's
Westy.
True, Westy, I guess I can give you that. But from a Ford's perspective, certainly one of the best. And so it would stink to see. But again, I don't know how else to interpret those comments. And again, it seems like it's just getting more and more distant the more and more people ask Zoran about it. Right. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Again, hope it's not true, but hey, I wouldn't be doing my job for you guys if I didn't report it. So I want you guys to all be first to know, and then, maybe comment if I'm right.
Right.
But that's all.
Please do. He needs his ego capped a little.
Perhaps. Yeah, he literally made the comment, like, I need him to focus on scoring goals and getting assists. Like,
well, that would require us to, string together 2 or 3
And he did get an assist. He has our only assist of the season, by the way.
There's other players that play into that. So.
Yeah, but anyway.
What about some power rankings?
Boy, we have a good show today, don't we? So, yeah, power rankings came out this week, and Charlotte dropped 9 spots down to number 20, as low as I can ever remember them being on the power rankings. Um, Again, power rankings are a made up thing, so do I really care about it? No, but still, I wanted to more or less get your thoughts on it. I mean, do you think that's too high? Do you think that's too low with how they performed right now? I mean, there's 30 teams in the league, and we're ranked 20th.
I mean, it's probably a little low because I think we're sitting ninth in the Eastern Conference right now. So, um, obviously, I'd say, I mean, and we don't, I'm sure there are teams out there with 2 losses, and we do have as
Atlanta's
well.
one of them.
So,
Atlanta's one of them.
I mean, I definitely think we should have dropped. I mean, we haven't done a whole lot to show that we should have, our power ranking should have gone up. I would say maybe more between the 15 and 18. Um,
I would have liked to seen that. I agree. 15 to 18. And in all honesty, I'm still of the opinion that we're in the top 10, right? As far
even
as talent
after
on the
this weekend.
No, not
Okay.
the way we've played. I'm just saying, as a full team, like when we play at our best, our A game is
Sure.
is certainly a top 10, top 5, hopefully top 1 team, right? But at the same time, yeah, I didn't have a problem with the ranking. I mean, especially after that last game, they could have ranked us 25th, and I wouldn't have been surprised, right? So, not much to say there, but I did think it was interesting. I mean, we literally basically dropped in half from 11th down to 20th in 1 week. But that's what a 3-0 loss on the road will do to you. So, Charlotte,
Right.
get it together, and we will get back up those rankings pretty quick.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Right. Again, no standings just because we are, again, only 2 weeks in. I think the standings are a little too volatile. We're kind of college football playoff, if you guys understand that. We'll do that around week 6, 7, somewhere around there. 6, 7?
Oh, yay.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that around that time. But to start, just some scores and maybe some teams that stood out,
Yeah.
right? So to start out, big score line for Chicago Fire. They win 3-0 over Montreal. Montreal's now down 8-0 aggregate so far this season. So if we think Charlotte has it bad,
there are teams that are doing worse.
at least we're not Montreal. Yeah, so they're terrible start for them. A team that's off to a great start so far, San Jose. They won 2-0 against the team we love to see lose, Atlanta United. That's 2 straight 2-0 losses for Atlanta, just for anybody keeping track of that kind of thing. We don't care that much.
Yeah, no.
Just kidding. But yeah, San Jose now, they won 2-0. Dallas and Nashville. So all the talk about Nashville's offense, they draw 0-0. Granted, Surge was not on the pitch in this one. He was sick, so I'm sure that had a little bit to do with it, but still
they
a 0-0.
Others that can score.
They do. They're supposed to, according to anybody you ask that is a fan of theirs right now. They're kind of low key my least favorite fans right now. No, well, kind of offense. They think they have it. They think they have it this year. Maybe they do.
We'll see.
Maybe they'll prove it. But 0-0 draw against FC Dallas this week, and then also LAFC continues their great start to the season. They defeat Houston by a score of 0 Houston to LAFC. Sorry, I always like to do home and away there. So 2-0 LAFC. They are now what is that? 5-0 aggregate for them on the season. Still haven't given up a goal, scored a couple every game. Looking pretty good as LAFC. I got to admit that. Amy, what about some others?
So our Supporter Shield champs, or defending Supporter Shields, they're still looking for their first win on the season because they lost 2-1 to NYCFC.
How about that?
So, and then we had Orlando at home goes up 2-0 on Miami, thinking they're like the interstate rival with their the Florida teams. Only to have after halftime, Messi comes out, scores 2, and Miami ends up taking that game 4-2. So,
Gabby, put that GIF in there. We thought we had him at halftime or whatever. Yeah. That's a perfect one for that.
Good try, Orlando.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you. And then another team that's off to a really great start is San Diego. They have a 7-0 aggregate as well. Another one. They put up 2 goals against St. Louis, so they won 2-0.
Team we just played. Yeah. Tough.
So
okay, yeah.
And I mean, I would say the Western Conference is definitely the conference that's standing out now. There's 4 teams in the West that are all got their 6 points. They got undefeated. In the East Conference, we have 8 teams still looking for that first win. So Charlotte, we're not alone. There's 7 other teams that are also still looking for a win.
Yeah.
So, but we're getting ours this Saturday at the bank.
Darn right we are. Yeah, no. Crazy start to the season. I mean, it seems like Western Conference dominance. really weird. I mean, I guess they scheduled it that way on purpose. I don't know if it's a weather thing. They're worried about the East Coast weather
Right.
early in the season, and so we all played on the West Coast. But it was a lot of Eastern teams traveling west, and that did not work for many of the East teams
Nope.
for the first 2 weeks. So interesting to see how that plays out throughout the rest of the season. But certainly, so far, the West has been the dominant conference. Got to admit that. Yeah, a couple of teams have stood out, though, in particular to me. And I will start on the East Coast, actually. The East Coast team, to me, that has stood and quite literally is standing above everybody now because they are the only undefeated team in the East right now. That is the New York Red Bulls, and their average age of what, 18 years
17.
old? I mean, yeah, it is crazy to watch them, put all of these youngsters out there that are, barely got their driver's permit a couple years ago, and now they're scoring goals and winning games in the MLS. So super
Just
impressive.
Driving down the pitch,
Yeah,
straight to the goal.
Hey, there it is, right there. That's good. I like that. Yeah, Michael Bradley, shout him out. Obviously, he's come in and done what he thought made sense, and obviously, it's resonating on the field for that team. So great job, New York Red Bull. We need you to start sucking though, so we can catch up and pass you. And then also another team that obviously jumps out so far. Not that it's a surprise. They won the Western Conference last year. San Diego did, but I mean, they have come into this season and they have a 7-0 aggregate to start the season.
Right.
Obviously, that's impressive no matter who you ask or what context it is, right? So great job for San Diego to start the season. They're probably going to be better this year than they were last year, and they already won the conference last year. So be a very formidable team. Absolutely.
I don't know LAFC. I think.
Well, yeah, good point. LAFC, I would still say is the
better.
Yeah, better team than San Diego. But I think San Diego can give them a run for their money. They play the most beautiful brand of football in the MLS when they got it going. I mean, I was watching that game that they played this week, and I mean the goal, like Anders Dreyer, how you say his name? What a great player that guy is. I mean, just watching them from back to front, I feel like their defenders are as good on the ball as most teams' attackers. I mean, they just, they it reminds me of Malanda from last year and watching how effortlessly he can move the ball 20, 30 yards down the pitch. And watch them this year.
Right.
Watch them this year for sure. Not that that's a shock to anybody, but still, great job for San Diego. Anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, West Coast is showing up. That's not how we were last year, but East Coast is turning around.
Yeah,
and
plenty of time. Obviously, we're talking 2 weeks into the season, right? So, yeah, East Coast, we're buying our time,
seems
right?
like teams are either doing really well or can't quite figure out how to get it going. That's kind of where we are so far.
Yeah, well, let's get it to about week 6, week 7, right? And kind of had to. And let's figure out, kind of from there, where everybody stacks. I just think it's too early in the season to really grade every team on, these 2 games, Charlotte included. Obviously, we want to see the team do better, like we've talked about, but at the end, we do have to kind of look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is there are still 32 games remaining in the MLS season. There is a playoff. There are 2 other cups to be had. There are a ton of games to play. So a lot of time, but hey, shout out the West Coast so far. You've been the dominant conference. We have to give you that. And we'll go ahead and put another crown on that, and then we'll move right into a newly minted, I guess we can go with that, newly minted segment, right? So after long waited, I know all you guys have been asking, where the heck's Brian been? Where's Brian been? Brian is here. He's in the building. I'm actually looking at him right now. He looks sexy, as always, over there. He's going to be jumping on, and he's going to be giving us kind of the new version, if you will, of the match day preview. We're going to call it Brian's Breakdown. Unless you have better, suggestions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'd love to hear them. But Brian's Breakdown coming to you next.
What's up, everyone? This is Brian's Breakdown for the week. I'm going to bring you some keys to this match and some things that I want you to be thinking about with Austin FC coming up. So Austin FC comes in with a 1-0-1 record. That's 1 win, 0 losses, and 1 draw for 4 points and 7th place in the Western Conference. They started their home opener. It was their season opener and home game against Minnesota United with a 2-2 draw. And last week they won 1-0 over DC United. And one interesting tip about this is that they signed Christian Ramirez off of waivers on Friday, February the 27th. And 2 days later, he scored the game winner against DC United and also was named to Team of the Match Day. So Last year, Austin FC was one of the lowest scoring teams in the league, and they have invested heavily into their attack. They've got 3 designated players: Brandon Vasquez, USMNT national player who is coming off an ACL injury and was signed from Liga MX squad Monterrey. They also have their number 10 is Murto Lazuni. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he's an Albanian forward and signed from La Liga side Granada. And then rounding out their DP players is Facundo Torres, who is a Uruguayan, and you might remember him from Orlando City FC, and he kind of ripped our hearts out 2 years ago in the playoffs. So I don't really want to see him again. They also have a couple of other notable players that I think you will recognize, and one of those is Robert Taylor, who was part of Inter Miami last year and was transferred to Austin FC mid-season, and also their U2 initiative player, Owen Wolf, who is the son of USMNT player Josh Wolf. But both of those are out on, I think Robert Taylor went out on injury last week. I'm not sure if he's going to be available this week. And also Owen Wolf is recovering from sports hernia surgery. So this will be their first away match of the season. So we'll see how they do when they come to the Fortress. And I've got 4 key takeaways for this match. Number 1, our boys need to be disciplined with possession. They can't give the ball over cheaply because that has led to transition goals. Number 2, they need to defend in numbers. We saw in this past game where they were isolated on the outside and they just picked us apart. We don't seem to have the speed nor the organization right now. Number 3, we need to deny their shots on goal. In the past 2 games, Charlotte FC has given up 36 shots on goal, and Kalina has had a whopping 19 saves. 10 in the first match, 9 in the second. Callie's great, but he can't see that many shots on goal. And then the final key to the match day is we need to feed off the energy of the crowd at the Fortress. We're a different team in Bank of America Stadium, and we got to ride that wave of momentum into and through the match. Charlotte FC fans, this is our house, and it's our crown to defend. So let's go.
All right, and Brian, what a wonderful round of applause. Great
Welcome
job
back.
on Brian. Yeah, welcome back to the show. Great breakdown from Brian. I would normally give you my match day preview, but what else is there to add, right? I mean, that was pretty much everything that we wanted to talk about, hit the nail on the head. The number one thing that he said, though, was about the key to the game being the crowd, right? So,
let's go.
Hey, we know that the first 2 games haven't gone great. It's just the first 2 games, and I promise you, you show up loud, you show up proud, and show this team what you're all about, they will return that, right? That is my absolute key to the game, if you want one from me, is just bring the crowd, let them feed off that energy, and let it roll to our first victory of the season.
Grab your party shirt.
That's right. So, sorry, I missed the assignment. It's my show, and I still missed it, so that's on me. I didn't bring the party shirt, but as you see, everybody else here has the party shirt. It is the party shirt giveaway this week, right? So be there. Probably got to get there early, honestly, about 6:30 at least, right?
At least.
To be able to get that, but it is a hot commodity. One of the best giveaways of the season is the party shirt, and it happens to be the very first game this year, home opener. So hope to see you all there. Again, 7:30 at the bank. Be loud, be proud. Let's bring 3 points home for the crowd. Speaking of bringing 3, what did I say?
For the crowd.
I said for the crowd. For the crown, you know.
Well, bring it for the crown.
For the crown.
For the crowd.
Yeah, it could almost be not a double entendre. You guys get what I mean. Just be there, be loud. That's all I care about. Predictions, right? So we're kind of to the last. As always, we give you our prediction for the game. This week's could be interesting. I'd love to see everybody's kind of thought here. I've made you guys start out first last couple times, and that hadn't gone so well. So I'm going to start out this week. Yeah, we're going to switch it up. I'll go first. I'll go ahead and give my prediction first.
What is it?
Charlotte 1.
Oh, gosh.
Austin 0. Austin 0. Clean sheet after the 3 that we gave up. They don't score the ball. They do not score the ball. If you go look at them from last season, I think they averaged 1.01 goals per game, which
Great.
I guess is still better than 0. But no, we're home. We're going to bring the energy. We're going to show out.
Kalina's
Charlotte
got 10
won.
saves.
Yeah, I still don't have a lot of confidence that we're going to put the ball in the back of their net very often, but we're going with the nice, tidy, Dino's favorite score line, 1-0 Charlotte. Who's going to be the goal scorer?
Sit down.
Twerk Lamati.
Twerk Lamati is
Let's
getting
go.
his goal this week. He's got a expected goal so far this season of .02. If you watch my TikTok show, shout out. Not good enough. He's going to show up this week. He's going to get the goal. We are going to get the 3 points. That is my prediction. Who's next? Let's go. Yeah, right over here to my right, your left. Maddie, what do we think?
I'm gonna go 3-0.
3-0.
Whoa.
I like that.
Let's go. Okay.
I'm gonna go Abada.
Bada bing.
I've
Almost bought that shirt.
been wanting this person to score so bad. Nathan Bird.
Okay.
Please.
Come on, Bird.
Okay. Bernie.
And then kind of want a Westwood banger.
These would be great. All of that would be
Just
great.
somebody.
Westwood banger.
Somebody to score.
Yeah, just somebody's gonna.
Somebody.
Just
Well, we got
anybody.
three of them.
Do
Yeah.
something. Do
Hey,
something.
3-0. So we both agree with the clean sheet there, which is good. So we know you ain't scoring, but who's next? Raise your hand. I don't care. Who wants to go next? Brian?
All right, I'll go. I do not have confidence in our defense right now for a clean sheet, but I feel like we're going to open up the floodgates of scoring. I'm going to go 3-1 Charlotte. And
Okay.
I got 2 goals for Twerk Lamati, but I'm going to save everybody from seeing that.
Oh,
We'll leave
Wait,
that to
keep
you,
it
Mark.
clean,
deprive
guys.
everybody of seeing that,
This could
honestly.
be a kid show.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
yeah.
And then I've got I'm going to go Pepio with another goal.
Okay, fair. Yeah, 3-1. We love that. And then last but not least,
So I've gone with the clean sheet the first 2 weeks, and well, that hasn't worked out. So I have faith in Kalina. I do not have faith in our defense. And if your defense doesn't help you, then you can't make all the saves. I mean, as amazing as Superman Kalina is, he's not going to be amazing every game, and our defense isn't doing a lot to help him. I am also hoping the floodgates of scoring open. I'm going to go because we're at home. I was going to go 2-1, but then I was going to go 3-1, but I don't want to have the same score prediction as Brian. So I'm going to go for the crown,
Whoa.
4 goals.
whoa.
I'm going to go with the Pep BL brace because I think he's going to bring it. I think I'm going to go with the Zaha. I think Zaha is going to put the ball in the back of the net, and then
Zora needs him to,
we're
apparently.
gonna then sign that contract because I don't like the June thing. And then I'm gonna go with a I just don't think Toke's scoring, guys. I hate to tell you that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with a Vargas goal.
Vargas
Oh,
gets
Vargas
in there as well. Okay.
Yep.
So we got 1-0. We had 3-0. We had 3-1 and 4-1. You heard it here first, right? So those are going to be it.
But we're happy with just a win.
At the end
Just
of the day,
the
the
win.
only thing
Bring the
that
win home
matters
for
is the
the
3
crown.
points for the crown at the end of the day, right? That's all we care about. And we do care about you as well, right? We want to see all of your faces there. So again, please show up 7:30 p.m. this Saturday.
We're gonna get some good live feeds or some moments from the game this week.
I'm gonna do my best. I've learned I'm not the best at doing the live while I'm there, but I'm working on that team. So yeah, we'll probably get a couple videos like that, live stream, whatever. I got to come up with the goal song because we're scoring a goal. If we all predicted it's going to happen, I did that, and I don't think it's going to. I think
No, I
that's
don't
a
think it's
Pep thing.
sticking
I think
either.
that was. I hadn't figured out the stick one
Magician
yet, but
talent.
we'll get that figured out in this game because we're going to score a couple of goals according to everybody.
We'll
So,
let you know.
Absolutely, TV.
First game
TBD.
of 5.
TBD.
at
There's
home.
what we're going.
First of
Yeah,
5
yeah,
at
that's
home.
true. 5-game road or 5-game home streak coming up. So time
Get
to
it started.
Stretch.
make that
We
money.
can make
right?
it a home streak wins, but it's a home stretch.
Yes.
What she said, and I think that kind of puts a good little crown on it, right? I think that's everything for you. Again, like, subscribe, love you all. Watch the game, come to the game, enjoy the game, do the positive with us, right? We're all going to be there doing it. As always, it's for the crown.
Let's go.